Good morning and welcome to morning meditation. We're on Proverbs 23. When thou sittest to eat with the ruler, consider diligently what is before thee, and put a knife to thy throat if thou be a man given to appetite. Be not desirous of its dainties, for they are deceitful meat. Labor not to be rich, cease from thine own wisdom. Wilt thou set thine eyes upon that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings, they fly away as an eagle toward heaven. I want to stop there this morning. A couple powerful principles there. Several things that people seek after in this life are fame and fortune. And they're mentioned specifically here in the book of Proverbs to help us to understand throughout the entire Bible. It says to humble ourselves under the mighty hand of God. He'll lift us up. Boy, we live in a generation today that push everybody else down, critical of everybody else in order for them to be recognized. We don't want to live like that, Christian. We want to be the type of Christian that God can depend on. Depend on us to read our Bible, to pray, to witness, to be dependable at church, be dependable for other Christians. Boy, in this selfless generation, we need to live our selfish generation, we need to live a selfless life. And what do I mean by that? Don't worry about who gets the credit. Just do what God has for you to do, and one day we'll get the credit when we get to heaven. He not only talks to us here about principles of recognition, being put forward, people recognize us, and boy, everybody struggles with that. They want to know that what they're doing is significant, but you don't have to go any further than the principles of the Bible to desire significance in your life. If God knows about it, He'll take care of it. Number two, this has very powerful principles about finances. I find one of the four areas that Satan tangles Christians up more than any other area is finances. They desire to have things. They find value in possessions, having a little more than somebody else, being a little more comfortable. And Christian, that's not the life we're called to. The Bible calls us, and yes, God does give some Christians tremendous ability to earn money, but they invest that back in the kingdom of God. But can I remind you, Satan can make you successful too, to your own destruction. The old saying, failure has slain its thousands, but success its tens of thousands. Boy, pride is a thing that gets to all of us. And pride will get you in two areas, finances and fame, being recognized and having influence. The Bible tells us that the love of money is the root of all evil. It doesn't tell us money is evil. It tells us the desire to have, because what it comes down to is the ability to influence. We're not supposed to be like this world. We're supposed to be laying up treasures in heaven. Boy, when we get to the other side, how much treasure do we have laid up in heaven? How many people have been influenced to the kingdom of God because of our testimony, because of our witness, the time we've taken, the talents we've taken, the treasure we've taken and invested in the kingdom of God. David Livingstone, the famous missionary, came home for a furlough just before he went back to the mission field and literally died on the mission field while praying in his late 70s. A man had invested his life, and a pastor got up and said, "Here's David Livingstone. He's invested his whole life, and boy, we ought to follow." And David Livingstone said, "I've done nothing." He said, "All I've done is to serve my King because he's done so much for me." And Christian, I think we ought to line up our desire to be recognized, our desire to influence with the kingdom of God. Just say, "Lord, whatever you would have me to do, if it's influencing a few or influencing thousands, if it's making a few dollars or making thousands of dollars, let me use it to please you. I hope you'll have that attitude in your Christian life and walk. God bless you and have a wonderful day.